Nobody likes pricks. Don't need to with this. So last week I did a video on my revolutionary new clamping system. It's taking the world by storm. So after posting that video, I got quite a few comments and some really good suggestions. Specifically, a comment from Sue. As soon as I read the comment, it just hit me instantly. Like I literally had a vision of how to improve this and make it so much better. So we've done that. So this was version 2. So yesterday I built version 3, which is now officially the final version. There's no more changes. We're good. Whatever that sign is, we're done. So we will be filing the patent for version 3. I've got to shred the patent that I did for this one. I can probably copy and paste a lot of it. However, I've got to add some designers to it. So I'll get to it though. We'll get the patent, don't worry. Now the good news, these are not garbage, because I also thought of a different way to utilize these. Still as a clamp, but it solves a completely different problem than this other clamp system does. So these still have value. So don't throw yours away yet if you've made them. And I'll show you that after I show you all about the T-clamp system. I didn't want to bore you guys with actually making these because it's so simple. It would have been boring as hell. So I just made them. The concept is exactly the same. You've got this face here that provides pressure to the piece that you're holding down. I've got a gap right here that can fit a clamp to clamp down to the surface. I used maple for this only because I had a bunch of 1x1 maple stock. This took me all of 15 minutes to build. It is as easy can get. I basically cut my 1x1 maple into 9-inch sections. So each of these pieces is 9 inches. I got a piece of walnut that was also 1 inch wide and a 1/2 inch thick. So this gap right here is 1/2 inch. And I basically just sandwiched the walnut in between the maple, glued it down. Then I screwed the top T part down into each of these, glued and screwed. So there's only 2 screws in this whole thing. In our original version, we had little pricks that came out. I hate it when little pricks come out. Little pricks that came out to help hold down your piece. Now, initially I thought the advantage of this system was that you'd be able to access the screws without having to take anything off. You could just in out, as simple as it can get. Then the most brilliant thought came to me, and a way to do this without pricks at all. So there's no pricks in the T-clamp system, patent pending. So prickless clamping system. Doesn't get any better than that. Nobody likes pricks. Don't need to with this. The side that's down has got sandpaper stuck to it. The clamping face has got sandpaper on it, so it just helps it stay comfortable once it's clamped into place. So I'll show you a quick demonstration on 2 different ways that you can utilize this system. A lot of people have these T-tracks or a slot system that they use for hold downs, which is ideal for this system. So this can be used on any T-track system or any flat surface. You can just clamp it down. These also fit ideal on my drill press, so I can clamp things down in the drill press as well. I mean, I may have 2 or 3 different sizes of these because they're so easy to make. If I need a bigger size, I'll just whip up a bigger size in 15 minutes or so. Another thing I should mention is I made my tops 9 inches wide because I have limitations on the R3 tabletop is only 10 inches wide. So I couldn't go wider than 9. Unless you have limitations like that, I would suggest doing the top part bigger, and I'd probably go 16 inches. And you'll see the advantage of that when I get into the demonstration of how it's used. But going wider on the top, and for that matter, you could probably go longer on the bottom as well. In fact, you could probably do 16 by 16, and that would give you more versatility than this and longer reach, and you could clamp down bigger pieces. Let's go over to the Radical Radial router, R3, and I will give you a demonstration on how these work. I'll give you 2 demonstrations actually. You get 2 for the price of 1 today. Won't even charge any more for it. I'm going to show you 2 different ways that I will be utilizing these clamps, one of which is on this side of the R3. Mostly flattening and dados is what I use this side for. So I've got this piece of maple that is got a cup in it. It's warped that way. So let's say I wanted to flatten this on my R3 system. So I've got this hold down system, which is pretty common, these slots. Usually it's either the T slot, which I hate, but these are pretty common. So you've seen these types of hold down systems before. So I can just very easily screw that down. So that's not going anywhere. And the way I made this T-clamp system, I just epoxied some bolts in there with these hold downs, little piece of plywood. The gap there is a little bit wider than this piece of plywood, and the width is a little bit wider than this piece of plywood too. So the plywood just slides in these little grooves. So I can set my clamping system in place. Now, here comes the reason that we don't need pricks. Of course, the story of my life. Lord suffering. Why does it always happen, Jers? We just clamp these together. Tighten this side down now. And that sucker is not moving in the slightest. So now that I've got this clamped down, I can flatten the surface. Pretend this was a different router bit, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? The main point is that it holds it down extremely well. These clamps are clamping this way. This is putting it down, so it's not going anywhere. Trust me. No pricks required. Prickless clamping system. Even without the clamps, it's not budging. So that's on my flattening side. Now we'll run over to my horizontal sliding table and show you how we set it up over here. Now let's pretend that we wanted to clamp this piece of birch with live edge birch down on this table. So the first thing that I do is I get my square, because for this application it's advantageous for me to have these in square. So I know this piece is going to be square with my table, even though the sides don't look like it, but it is perfectly square. And the reason that I said it would be advantageous to make this top part longer is it gives you the ability to put a wider piece in here, because if this piece was, well, and again, it won't fit on my table, but if this piece was wider than 9 inches, then it's difficult for me to get these clamps in there. So if you don't have any limitations like I do with my table size, I would suggest making this top part longer. And it could be as long as you want. But again, this thing is not budging. So now I can go ahead and do what I do with my thingamajig. So there you have it. Now let me show you what I'm going to do with version 2. Remember I said I had different applications for them? I'm going to show you that right now as well. It's going to be difficult to clamp the 2 ends because it's round and you only have 1 point of contact here. So not an ideal system for something round. However, if we were to take the bear clamp clamping system, now I haven't done this yet, so you got to use your imagination here. Imagine if this was cut just like the pencil mark here. Pick a pencil mark, any mark, but pretend it was a straight cut, a V. And that V had sandpaper on its surface. No pricks, just a V. So I'm actually going to end up cutting these to do that. I got to take all these screws out, obviously. We don't need screws anymore, so it's a totally screwless system. But if I've got two of these that are cut to a V, then you've got a clamping surface there and a clamping surface there and one there and one there. It's biting on 4 different areas of the round surface, and that will definitely hold a round piece nice and comfortable. So again, I won't bore you guys with the video because it's so straightforward, but I will be cutting these down in a V, and I will utilize this, the bear clamp, the old bear clamp system, as my round clamp system, is what we'll call that. That's very creative. Very brilliant name, the round clamping system. Now obviously you're looking into the future because this hasn't been made yet. So yes, I did make a time machine. I had a bunch of scraps lying around and I just whipped it together. I'm actually shocked that it worked. So you're seeing it before it's even made. Time machine, patent pending. And that's going to be a much longer video. Maybe next week I'll do the time machine video. It's a lot more complicated. And I'm going to prove it to you by showing me making it right now. So as you can see, this is 1.5 inches away, so is this. So I'm 1.5 inches away there, but over here we're like not even close. We're probably damn near 2 inches away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just route it so that it is like this, so that it's square. This side over here is the same now. So what I'll do is once I've got this routed out, then I will shift the position of this so that it is aligned going this way, and then route out these 2 sides. So for now, we're just going to do a square, just going to do square. What more can a guy say? And ignore these holes on the top here. We won't talk about that. Had nothing to do with me drilling them on the wrong side. I put them in there to make it a little bit lighter because I was looking for a lightweight clamping system. So that's the only reason these 4 holes are in this piece. Okay, that's important. I mean, I can even feel the difference when I lift these two. Significantly lighter. You don't necessarily need it. It does make it faster because it's more aerodynamic. It was not a mistake. It was intentional. That's the main focus here. These 4 holes meant to be there. It's not because I screwed up in any way, shape, or form, because that would never happen. So don't leave a comment asking about these 4 holes. Still function the same. This one's just a lot lighter. Other than that, they're identical. Not a screw up. Intentional. I just made them. We made them. Yes, Jers, you helped me a lot. You're right. I forgot about you. But I'm busy making a video right now. Why do you do this all the time? Your timing is just impeccable. Hey? Can you just have a little nap or something and we'll play in a minute? Okay?